Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast, and welcome to your Monday Night Raw post-show. Starting off tonight, man, we got Gunther. Gunther comes out to the ring. He addresses the crowd. Gunther talks about beating LA Knight, which took place on this past Friday Night SmackDown, where now Gunther is going to be moving on to face John Cena in Cena's last match. Gunther then talks about being John's last opponent. Gunther then praises John. Gunther then pulls up a countdown to John's last match. Gunther also says that he's going to bully John and do the one thing that John has never done and make John quit. Gunther says that, like I said, he's going to force John to give up. From a person that really never gives up, Gunther is pretty much making his point across that he is going to make John Cena at Saturday Night's main event give up. Some interesting stuff there from Gunther going into Saturday Night's main event. Moving on from that, we go into our first official match of Monday Night Raw. It is Io Sky taking on Kairi Sane. The match itself, it was a good match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Io and Kairi Sane, with Kairi keeping the pace of the match. Io then hits a German suplex off the apron on Kairi Sane, followed by Io hitting a moonsault, taking out Kairi Sane on the outside. Asuka, who was ringside, attacks Io Sky with the referee being distracted. Rhea then attacks Asuka ringside. This allowed Io Sky to go to the top rope, hit her signature moonsault off the top rope, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Io Sky. Hats off to Io Sky for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night, our next scheduled match of the night. It's Rey Mysterio taking on Finn Balor from the Judgment Day. Rey Mysterio makes his way out to the ring when he is quickly attacked by Logan Paul. Rey then tries to fight back against Logan Paul, but the masked person, or masked assailant, if you will, shows up on Monday Night Raw, and he quickly attacks Rey Mysterio. Then he also hits a foot stomp on Rey Mysterio. Logan then hits Rey with the brass knuckles. After this, LA Knight is here. LA Knight comes out to save Rey. LA Knight then says if that's Rollins, then he's going to stomp him out. Knight then says Logan is going to pay for what he did to Rey Mysterio. Some interesting stuff there between LA Knight and Logan Paul. Moving on from that, we got a World Tag Team title matchup. It is the War Raiders taking on Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. The match itself, I thought, was a good match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between the War Raiders, Dragon Lee, and AJ Styles, with Lee and Styles keeping the pace of the match. Ivar hits a moonsault for a near fall. AJ Styles and Eric then both exchange in the middle of the ring, with AJ Styles hitting his signature phenomenal forearm. Pins for the 3, and your winners of the match, and still World Tag Team Champions, are Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. After the match, the New Day, they get in the ring. They were ringside throughout the entire match. After that, they're both interrupted by none other than the Usos. The Usos come out to the ring. Both Jimmy and Jay have microphone in hand. Jimmy then makes a big announcement, stating that the Usos are back in the tag team division. Jay then says they're going to be putting the tag team division on notice, and then all of a sudden the Usos then quickly attack the New Day. So it looks like the Usos are back in the tag team division. Moving on from that, we have Stephanie Vaquer in the ring. Stephanie has the microphone in hand, says she wants to face everyone in the back. Stephanie said that she is the best, not because of the Devil's Kiss. Stephanie then hypes up the women's roster, but she's quickly interrupted by none other than Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella comes out to the ring, says that their match that they had Survivor Series is not over, and that Nikki demands a rematch, but Nikki is quickly attacked by none other than Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel then gets in the ring, tells Stephanie that she wants a title shot. Some interesting stuff there between Raquel and Stephanie. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It's Roxanne Perez taking on Lyra Valkyria. I thought this was a good match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Roxanne and Lyra, with Lyra keeping the pace of the match. Lyra then hits a Northern Lights suplex in the middle of the ring for a near fall, followed by an enziguri. Liv then causes a distraction with the referee. This allowed Roxanne Perez to rake the eyes of Lyra Valkyria. Liv then tries to attack pretty much Lyra Valkyria. She ends up kicking Lyra. This allowed Roxanne Perez to hit a Pop Rocks on Lyra in the middle of the ring. Pins for the 3. And your winner of the match is Roxanne Perez. Hats off to Roxanne Perez for getting the win in this matchup. And moving on from that, we go into our main event of Monday Night Raw. It is LA Knight taking on Logan Paul. The match itself, I thought, was a good match, man. Back and forth matchup between Knight and Logan Paul, with Logan Paul keeping the pace of the match. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are here. They are ringside. LA Knight then hits an elbow drop off the top rope, landing on Logan Paul in the middle of the ring. Bronson Reed then gets involved in the match by attacking LA Knight, with the referee being distracted by Braun Breaker. Referee then throws out both Reed and Breaker. LA Knight is fighting Logan Paul on the outside. He gets ready to put Logan Paul on the announce table, but the masked assailant once again shows up out of nowhere and then hits a foot stomp on LA Knight. Logan then throws LA Knight into the ring. Logan then goes to the top rope, hits a splash off the top rope, landing on LA Knight, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Logan Paul. After the match, the Vision then attack LA Knight. Breaker then hits a spear on Knight, followed by Bronson Reed hitting 2 devastating tsunamis off the top rope, landing on LA Knight. Paul Heyman then grabs a microphone. He says he doesn't understand why the boos, why the hate. Heyman then mocks the crowd. Heyman then hypes up Braun Breaker for his match against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. Breaker then grabs a microphone and asks, "Where is CM Punk?" Breaker then says he wants to know where the old CM Punk is, not the new Punk that we're getting now. Breaker then mocks Punk. Breaker then says he wants the old version of CM Punk. Breaker then also mentions Punk's wife. Logan and Reed then head to the back where they spot LA Knight. Logan and Reed then attack Knight backstage. WWE security is trying to stop Logan Paul and Bronson Reed, but they are unsuccessful. Logan Paul then puts LA Knight on top of a car. Reed then hits a tsunami, landing on Knight on top of the vehicle, pretty much taking out LA Knight. A couple of things I want to talk about with you guys, man, when it pertains to Monday Night Raw before I get the hell up out of here. Number one, I thought it was a solid show, man, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was a bad show at all. Obviously, we're coming out of the Last Time Is Now tournament, which took place, the finals of that took place on SmackDown this past Friday night, where we had LA Knight taking on Gunther. And Gunther was successful in beating LA Knight, and now Gunther is going to be John Cena's last opponent. Now, I do want to quickly talk about this. Now, I'll be at the forefront to tell you guys that I did say that I thought this tournament was going to be probably the best tournament that we've seen in the States in a very long time. And I told you guys when I'm wrong, I'll admit that I was wrong. I'm wrong. This tournament was half-assed at best, to be honest with you. And honestly, ever since they announced Gunther to be a part of this tournament, it almost felt like a shoo-in, if you will, that Gunther was going to be in the finals for this Last Time Is Now tournament. Obviously, WWE and the powers that be see a lot in Gunther, more obviously than they see in LA Knight. And now Gunther is going to be John Cena's last opponent at Saturday Night's Main Event, I believe on the 13th of December. So that match is going to take place. But that being said, though, was I super thrilled with the tournament itself? No. To me, there could have been a lot more NXT talent than what we got. I mean, we really solely got Javon Evans. I mean, we got the return, if you will, the one-off of Dolph Ziggler and the one-off, if you will, of Zack Ryder, which, again, 2 really good moments for WWE, and it really got the fans excited for this tournament. But this tournament was all over the place, man. You had The Miz initially in this tournament, then he lost, and then they, put him back in the tournament. It was all over the place. So I am happy that the tournament is over, and we now know who's going to face John Cena in his last match, and it's going to be none other than Gunther, the ring general. So again, looking forward to that match, looking forward to John's last match ever. This is it. This is the last hurrah for John Cena. A couple other things I want to get into about Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the big elephant in the room, at least in my opinion, the Usos. Now, I have mentioned this now about Jay and Jimmy for quite some time. That Jay, while I praise Jay for what he did as far as winning the Rumble, winning the Intercontinental Championship, winning the World Heavyweight title by beating Gunther, I praised Jay. I said that Jay has been one of those guys at that time that busted his ass to get to those opportunities and where he, what he eventually got to in his career. Nobody's going to take that away from Jey Uso. My issue with Jay that I have, and it's not really necessarily an issue, is where do we go from here? Where do we go with the Usos after War Games? And I told you guys the biggest outcome or the biggest storyline leaving out of War Games is what's going to be next. What's going to be next for Roman, the Usos, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. What is going to be next for these guys, especially now that they lost the War Games matchup against the Vision? What's going to be next? We haven't seen Roman. Cody Rhodes seemingly is tied with Drew McIntyre still. They seem like they keep, going at each other and they can't just get away from each other. So obviously Cody Rhodes is tied up with Drew McIntyre. So where does this leave the Usos? And finally we get some kind of direction of where the Usos are going. The Usos, seemingly, if you will, are reuniting. And they're going to be put back in the tag team division. A division that is not terrible, but is lacking talent. And I think the Usos incorporating themselves back into the tag team division highlights the tag team division both on Monday Night Raw and if not SmackDown, if they decide to go on, SmackDown and Raw as well. I think it's great. This was one of the things that I was hoping for the most when it pertains to the Usos, specifically Jay. There really wasn't a lot for Jey Uso to do after War Games, to be honest with you. I didn't see Jay in a situation where he was going to challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. Not only did I not see that, I didn't want to see it. And I know there might be a lot of people who say, man, I can't believe you said that about Jey Uso, bro. He's immensely over. Yeah, Jey Uso is immensely over. I'm not taking anything away from what Jey can do in the middle of the ring. Do I want to see Jey right now World Heavyweight Champion? No, I do not. I just don't. Right now, with what's going on and how things are slowly starting to play out, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker is going to be an epic match. And I'm going to be at the forefront to tell you that Braun Breaker needs to walk out of that match in January new World Heavyweight Champion. I think it's time. I think it's time for Breaker to have championship gold, especially on the main roster, and win the World Heavyweight title. I just think it's time. Which I will get into Braun Breaker here in a second. But as far as the Usos are concerned, man, I think this is a good move for the Usos, both Jimmy and Jay, to go back into the tag team division or incorporate themselves back into the tag team division. And, obviously they attack the New Day. They have their sights set on the World Tag Team Championships. I mean, there could be a lot of good matches for the Usos and the tag team division. Most notably, you can do Finn Balor and JD McDonough from the Judgment Day. Obviously, you have the New Day. You have the War Raiders. They might incorporate other tag teams. I mean, it's something where it gives the Usos something to do. It puts them on television. And right now, I think it's the best fit for both Jimmy and Jey Uso. Speaking of Braun Breaker, though, Braun Breaker, at the end of the night, he cut that promo once again on CM Punk, saying that he wants the old CM Punk from the past. And to be honest with you, you know what I mean? To be honest, man, I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think Braun Breaker should be the next world champion. It might be a hot take for a lot of people. Oh, I can't believe that you're going to have CM Punk drop the belt already. The reason why I think it's time for Breaker to win the belt is just the body of work that he's put in so far, number one. Number two, the way that they're already setting this up, there's already rumors and speculation that Braun Breaker and CM Punk will have a match one-on-one at WrestleMania. If that's the case, then I'd rather have Braun Breaker going into WrestleMania defending the World Heavyweight title than trying to take the belt away from CM Punk at WrestleMania. To be honest with you. That's just my vibe. That's just me. Am I against this match? No. I think they're celebrating the 1 year anniversary of Netflix, Raw being on Netflix. And we all remember the debut episode and how crazy that was and how good that was. So, obviously, they're going to make CM Punk versus Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight title. And we haven't seen CM Punk as of late because he's been dealing with some, family issues. He just recently lost his dog. Rest in peace to Larry. So that's really why we haven't seen CM Punk on television. He's probably also dealing with some injuries, obviously family stuff with the passing of Larry. And it's definitely unfortunate. I know what it's like to lose an animal and lose a pet, and it sucks, man. It's horrible. It's like losing a part of your family. It's horrible. It's a shitty feeling, for real. So obviously he's taking some time off to deal with that, and rightfully so. So eventually we will be seeing CM Punk back on Monday Night Raw to address this Braun Breaker issue that's pretty much been a thorn in the side of the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. The other thing, obviously, that happened is this mass assailant. Everybody and their grandmother has been talking about who in the hell is this person behind the mask. I mean, I've made comments stating that it could be Austin Theory. It very well could be Austin Theory. It could be, there's people saying it could be Randy Orton. It could be Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins, once again, is pulling, a ruse on everybody, and he's the one that's returning to hit these foot stomps on these certain individuals, like how he did to help Division win at Survivor Series and what he did last night on Monday Night Raw by hitting a foot stomp on Rey Mysterio as well as LA Knight. It's got a lot of people talking. Who the hell is this person behind the mask? Who is this masked assailant, if you will, that we're seeing at Survivor Series, and now we saw once again on Monday Night Raw. Nobody knows who the hell this is. My prediction, it could be Austin Theory. I know that there was rumors and rumblings, if you will, that the Vision were looking to acquire another member to join the Vision. At this point, I wouldn't mind seeing Austin Theory. There's even some people stating that it could be Ricky Starks, or Ricky Saints, if you will, joining the Vision, which, again, I'm not against it. But what I will say is this. Whoever the hell it was can climb a damn cage pretty goddamn fast. Because if you guys go back and watch Survivor Series, that guy, whoever the hell it is, got in that cage, hit that foot stomp, and climbed out of that cage so damn quick, it was unreal. So whoever the hell it is can climb up and down a cage, if you will, very, very fast. So I don't know who it is. To me, my prediction is Austin Theory. I think Austin Theory is the guy behind the mask. I could be wrong. It's just my theory, just my opinion, if you will. But this could be one big ruse. I mean, like I said, man, for what it's worth, if it's not Theory, am I going to be pissed off? No. It could be somebody else that can throw a curveball into this entire goddamn thing. It could be possibly Randy Orton. Now, I don't know if Randy Orton's got that kind of athleticism to climb out of a cage that goddamn quickly, but let's say hypothetically it is Randy Orton. I'm all for it. Because we haven't seen Randy Orton. I don't know what the hell is going on with Orton. I don't know if he's injured or he's just taking some time off or creative has literally nothing for Orton at the moment. But I'm not against it. I'm not against Orton joining the Vision and Orton being a heel. I think Orton is a better heel than he is a babyface. Call me crazy, but that's just my firm belief. I think he's a great heel. One of the best of all time. I'm not opposed if it's Randy Orton. I'm not at all. If it's Seth Rollins, I think the two issues I have if it's Seth Rollins. Number one, why the hell would it be Rollins if Braun Breaker beat the dog shit out of Seth Rollins and ultimately putting him on the shelf? And ultimately costing Seth Rollins the World Heavyweight title by vacating the World Heavyweight title. There's that. Two, if in fact it is Rollins, why would Rollins want to go back to the Vision after what the hell they just did to him? You know what I'm saying? It has to be somebody. It just doesn't logically make sense if it's Seth Rollins, in my opinion. It's got to be somebody else. I'm thinking Austin Theory. There's been other people mentioning Randy Orton, Ricky Saints. It could be anybody at this point. Hopefully, we do get some kind of reveal of who this masked assailant is here soon. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, Monday Night Raw wasn't bad. We got the Raquel, possibly, Rodriguez having a match against Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title. I'm not against it. I praise Raquel. I think Raquel has done fantastic shit since she's been in WWE, especially since she's been with the Judgment Day. I think Raquel is underrated. I think Raquel could be a force to be reckoned with within the women's division. I'm not against it. Just like I said the same thing about Natalya. I think if Natalya, seeing these vignettes, if you will, these video packages of, Natalya training with Maxine, and Maxine training for a comeback, if you will, or training for a match, I think they're great video packages put together. And if you guys follow Natalya, she's had some quote-unquote independent matches where she wasn't Natalya, but she was Natty, a more rough, a more edgier type of persona for Natalya. And I would not be opposed at all if WWE were to use that and bring in a more rougher, edgier, more Natalya, just this kick-ass persona for Natalya. But I also know that Natalya has an eye for talent. And I wouldn't be opposed if Natalya wanted to be an agent or scout talent for WWE because she has an eye for talent. Absolutely. I'm not going to take that away from Natalya, but I'm not against this whole different persona of Natty coming into WWE and just running roughshod on the women's roster. I'm not against it at all. I think it would be great for Natalya to actually be a heel and have a little bit of change, if you will, in her character on Monday Night Raw, or if not on SmackDown. I mean, it did wonders for Naomi. I mean, if you look at Naomi, the majority of her career, she was a babyface. And when she turned heel, I mean, it did wonders for Naomi. It really did. It really revamped her career, in my opinion. So much so that it got her a women's world title opportunity, and she was the women's world champion until she had to vacate the title because she was starting a family with Jimmy Uso. So it does work wonders if she does decide to turn heel. Look at Bayley. Bayley has that split personality persona. I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. Some people might be tired of seeing the babyface Bayley. You know what I mean? They want to see a different side of Bayley that we haven't seen yet or haven't seen before. So I'm not against it at all. I'm not. I think, for what it's worth, I think it would be great to see a change in the dynamics of maybe a Natalya or a Bayley. I think it benefits them immensely. Absolutely. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Monday Night Raw was not bad. I think Raw was decent at best. Obviously, things were, we got done with Survivor Series and done with War Games. Things are starting to slowly shift into a different direction, leading us into the next pay-per-view, or PLE, if you will, for WWE. So, I'm all for it. I think it's great. I think, obviously, everybody wants to know who the Masked Assailant is. Now we get the announcement that the Usos are back in the tag team division, which, not for nothing, I think it's the best direction right now for both Jimmy and Jay, in my honest opinion. I don't know what Roman's doing. I don't know when Roman's coming back. I have no idea. Like I said, Cody Rhodes is kind of have his, he's tied up with Drew McIntyre right now, and they're having a feud. And we also have CM Punk. CM Punk has a high-profile matchup against Braun Breaker for the world title. So, right now, everything kind of seems like it's set in motion right now. So, we're going to see how it plays out, man. But like I said, the biggest elephant in the room, or the biggest question mark, if you will, is who in the hell is this Masked Assailant that has shown up on Survivor Series and now has shown up on Monday Night Raw once again helping the Vision? And that's the biggest question mark coming out of Monday Night Raw. Who in the hell is this Masked Assailant that is pretty much helping the Vision with their matches and helping them succeed on Monday Night Raw? Hopefully we get some kind of insight and some news, or at least a reveal here soon, of who this Masked Assailant is that is showing up not only on Survivor Series, but last night on Monday Night Raw. But with that being said, this is my review of Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.